Oh, awkward. Okay. Well, I guess we're starting. All right. Hello everybody. It's Melissa. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a really long time since I posted anything. I apologize. Life has gotten crazy hectic. So, I just wanted to touch base and let you know how I was doing. I've got like 10 minutes before I have to go back to work, so that I can be on time. And so I'm just doing a quick update. So I wrote down a couple of little prompts for me to let you know what's going on. Um, Thanks for watching my video in advance. And yeah, and as per the normal, if you like what you're seeing and my information and you want to follow my journey, feel free to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Um, uh, and that's part of what I wanted to get into too. I'm planning on being less sporadic with my posting and being more consistent. I'll probably do like one video a week, if not more than that, because I need this. And it's like I said before in a previous video, this is kind of like almost like a video diary of my health and fitness journey. And by health, and I mean overall wellness, health, like your mental health, physical, emotional, spiritual, all that jazz. So anyway, to touch base on a couple of things, I have not reviewed my last few videos, so I'm not sure exactly what I posted, but I'm going to go ahead and let you know kind of a rundown of what's going on. I did my St. Jude run in July, and I know that I had talked about that in a couple of previous videos. My goal was 10 miles, and I ended up doing about 10.5 miles, probably more than that, given that there's like a space in between the mile marker and the finish line, but I'm calling it 10.5 because I know for sure that it was 10.5. I met my goal of $1,000 to donate, raising that money to donate to St. Jude for the kids. And shout out to everybody who donated. I want to say there were 20 to 30 people that donated, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It could be a little bit less than that. I'm not 100%, but again, that was back in July. Today is actually October 4th. So here we are in October, and it's been forever since I posted. So I did want to let you know that I made my goal running. It took me all day because I took some breaks in between, and some of them were really long breaks, but my goal was to run 10 miles that day. I did my 10.5. Super awesome. Met my goal of $1,000 donated to St. Jude for the children. And again, shout out to everybody who donated. Sorry, there's a window right there and I saw somebody biking past. So anyway, I do believe that I've mentioned before in a video that I have a boyfriend, super cool guy, like really awesome. He's just as corny about puns as I am, and he's wonderful. I think he's the one. I love him dearly. He loves me. And there are things that I'm feeling with him that I've never felt with anybody else. So I really do think this is right. It's a really healthy relationship, surprisingly. My last boyfriend that I had was actually the healthiest relationship that I'd had with anybody. He was the least toxic person that I've ever been with. And even then, well, the bits and parts of that relationship that were kind of toxic were more, and this sounds really vain, but how do I say this without bashing him? Because I don't want to bash him. He's got some issues that he needs to work out, and it's one of those things where those issues, like, he wasn't attacking me in any way, but things that he did dragged me down, and then there were other things that were just not right. So like just feeling like when you realize when you're with somebody that things are just not right, that this relationship isn't right, that this person is not the right one for you, that's when you know that you have to end it, because you don't want to be manipulative and just hang on to somebody just for the sake of being with somebody. So that was kind of where I was with him. And we all have issues. I have issues. I'm still working on some of my issues. But the main reason why I broke up with that man was because I realized that it just wasn't right. So rather than hanging on to something that really wasn't there and wasn't right, I let him go. And it was extremely painful because I did love him. It just wasn't right. So it's hard to explain, but some of you probably totally get it. Like, you've been in healthy relationships with somebody who was just wonderful, but it just didn't feel right. So, but I wish him well. He's essentially stopped being my friend. And that's okay. I've accepted that. And I really hope that he finds the right person for him, and I hope he finds happiness. So there's that. But anyway, my new boyfriend, fantastic, wonderful guy. I love him dearly. He actually was one of the patrons. I don't know if you use the word patron. He was one of the people who contributed to my St. Jude run. So I appreciate him. And again, so many other people, like whether they actually monetarily donated or they just cheered me on or whatever. The majority of my videos that I took that day, because I did take separate videos, actually went on Facebook Live on my Facebook page. And that was my updates throughout the day. And so I'd taken a couple of videos for YouTube and planning on stringing them together. And then I forgot at the end of the day, I was so tired and happy that I had finished that I forgot to make a video completing the run, the entirety of the day and the run that I did to string together and post into a video. So I apologize for that, but just updating you now, kind of skimming it a little bit to let you know. So Labor Day weekend back in September, my sister, my boyfriend, and I went to the Japanese festival in St. Louis, Missouri, and it was a great time. And someone broke into my boyfriend's car and stole my keys. So with my keys, with my big old glob of keys, there was a bunch of stuff on there. Some stuff that was like sentimental value things. Like I had a Hufflepuff keychain that one of my friends had gotten me. I had this little like, those little popper things that are popular now, that my best friend got me for anxiety. And I didn't realize until like very recently, like within the last several months, that I have anxiety. So that's cool. But anyway, this little poppy thing, it was like in the shape of an avocado, and I thought that was fun. I had pepper spray on my keychain so that whenever I ran, I'd have something to help protect me. since the dog's attack, because it was 2 dogs, but since that attack back in March, I have worked through some of my fears of running by myself in the park. But just having that pepper spray with me gave me so much a feeling of safety, some kind of defense, and I don't like running without it. And so unless I'm with another person, I usually had it with me. So since that got stolen, I haven't really been out there by myself. So it's unfortunate, but hopefully someday I'll be able to work through that fear. But we'll see. So that's something psychological that I've kind of had to battle and go through and try to overcome. But we'll get there eventually, I hope. And if not, then if all I need is some pepper spray to make me feel a little more comfortable, so be it. My brother suggested like a switchblade or something, not a switchblade, but like a knife to carry with me, and I just don't really feel comfortable. It's not that I don't feel comfortable carrying a knife, it's just that I don't want to stab anybody or anything, even though it might be taking off my hand, blah, 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 all that. But anyway, oh, by the way, here is my hand. It's healed quite a bit. You can see the scar still a little bit, but it's not so bad. And then of course my ankle and all that jazz, like it's much better. So moving on. So anyway, my keys. So my keys got stolen. I'd be a little late back to work. My keys got stolen, and in that big blob, like I said, there was all these sentimental keys. There was my pepper spray. There were my house keys. There was my car keys with the unlocky fob thing, and also my key fob to the gym that I go to, and that really sucked. So I've been without a key fob for about a month now, actually. Yeah, almost exactly, because tomorrow would be exactly a month. It was the 5th that they got stolen. So anyway, that's a bummer. So I just went today to get that back, and kind of rolling into that a little further. I haven't been working out consistently for months now. Even beyond, I think even in July, I wasn't working out consistently. It was still pretty sporadic. So I'm kind of working my way up to what I wanted to talk about there. But anyway, a couple weeks ago, I was about 2.5 weeks ago, I was in a car, 2.5 weeks ago? Yeah, I was in a car accident with my best friend. The long story short is that somebody failed to yield and turned left into my friend's car. Luckily, she braked, because if she hadn't braked when she did, she would be dead. Like, they would have hit her. But so I've gotten past all of that for the most part. I'm so happy that she's okay. And we thought that in the entirety of that whole accident, the worst that happened was that I had a broken ankle. That's what the ER doctor told me, a fracture. But then I went to the orthopedic. Let's see here. not last week, but the week prior on a Friday, and he took his own x-rays. So the yard had done theirs that night, and then he took his own x-rays at the orthopedic, and he said, no, I don't think that you have a broken ankle. He's like, I think that you sprained it really bad, but I don't think this spot here is a fracture. It might actually have been how, he's like, it might be a teeny tiny crack, but it also might be the way your bone grew. So I don't think you have a broken ankle. So I was out of commission for about a week and a half at the time. Luckily wheeling around on a scooter that one of the daycare moms had loaned me, which was super nice because she, long story short, she had needed it for a while, had broken both feet / ankles, whatever, in succession, had broken one and then had broken the other shortly after the one healed. And so anyway, she loaned me her scooter, and I'd wheeled around on that for about a week and a half until I found out that it wasn't broken. And then I still wheeled around a little bit, but then tried to hobble on crutches. And then I got back to where I'm like, walking, it still hurts a little bit, but it's gotten a lot better. The opposite shin is still tight, and there are still some bruises kind of all over where like my seatbelt was, where my knees hit the dashboard, around my ankle, just, generally kind of just random places. And that's the kind of skinny on that. Thought I might have had a concussion, got a CAT scan and found out that I do not. Everything came back clear. So that was wonderful. So that was that. And the worst out of it again was, the worst out of the entire accident again was basically the broken ankle that I had at the time we thought was a broken ankle. So, nobody was severely injured. And I'm just super, super thankful that my best friend's still alive. So there's that. So last week I went on vacation, moving on down my line here. Last week I went on vacation with my sister. We went down to Kentucky, and stayed in a cabin. It was pretty nice. We also visited Nashville one day, and this is actually my favorite part of the whole trip. I got to see the life-size replica of the Parthenon down in Nashville, and the life-size replica of the 41-foot statue of Athena that would have been in the Parthenon in Greece. So that was the best. I enjoyed that the most personally on my vacation, spending time with my sister and eating. We ate so much food. And so that kind of leads me into what I was going to talk about like my health and my wellness and everything. Really enjoyed eating on my vacation. I ate a lot. I ate a lot. My sister and I usually don't keep cereal in our house because, it's carbs and sugar and it's just not very good for you and all this other stuff. So when we were on vacation, we were like, hey, we're going to eat, we're going to enjoy. And then when we get back on vacation, we're really going to crack down because we both slipped into some very bad habits that we used to have, and kind of let go of the good disciplines that we used to have. So, and actually shout out to my sister really quickly. Leading up to this vacation, she worked her butt off trying to cram in everything that she needed to do for an entire month at her job in 3 weeks, plus the extra stuff that they kind of add on every week. So she did a wonderful job working. I've never seen her work that hard ever. And I'm really proud of her for that. So just wanted to throw that in there really quickly. But yeah, so we decided before vacation, we were talking about it and we're like, hey, we're going to enjoy ourselves on vacation. We're going to eat, we're going to enjoy, we're going to relax. And then when we get back, we were going to go ahead and get back into those good habits and try to reinstate those good disciplines. So that leads me to, again, kind of like in the last year, I've slipped into bad habits, just slowly and gradually just slipping into bad habits and kind of shirking my disciplines and my responsibilities and stuff that I should have been doing. And I have fallen back into my old bad habits so bad and in so many different ways. That I have in the last year. So I know that I've mentioned this before, but last year I got down to my lowest that I've ever been in my adult life at 209 pounds, down from July of 2018, whenever I got serious about my health. And I was about 270-ish I have the exact number. I want to say 271 or 272 from that point. Before that, sometime I was at like 281. I remember, in fact, actually, now that I think about it, I think I was at 285 at my highest weight that I know of, because there's a good chance that I was even higher than that at some point. I just wasn't monitoring my weight. But regardless, I have gained about half of it back because of kind of just slowly and steadily kind of like just letting those, neglecting those disciplines and letting that neglect, and it'll be okay if I have a little bit of this or a little bit of that. And then a little bit turns into a little bit more and a little bit more. And, when you're doing all that, a little bit from here to here is not much, and then from here to here is not that much, and then from here to here is not that much, and then from here to here is not that much, and then not that much. But then when you go back from the beginning, this is where you started and this is where you ended. That's a big old gap. So that is basically what's happened in the last year. So I have gone from last year at the lowest that I've been in my adult life, being very serious about my health, working out, exercising nearly every day, and eating very healthy and snacking healthy and everything, and drinking a lot of water and blah, 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 to today when I weighed in this morning. So 209 to today I weighed in and I am at 252 pounds. So from the beginning of this year, I've nearly doubled. Well, not doubled, but I've doubled from the 200 mark, almost doubled from the 200 mark that I wanted to really, really break down. I wanted to get down into, and I'm sure some of you have heard it before, Wonderland. Anybody who's going through a weight loss journey that is over 200 pounds knows kind of about that goal to get down under 200 pounds into the 100 something pounds. And for me, I kind of planned on getting down to, I think it was like 176 was what I had planned, or yeah, something like that. But anyway, let me think about that for a moment. 170 was what I wanted to get down to, because I felt like that was reasonable for like my body type and all that by the end of this year. So at the beginning of the year in January, technically at the very last week of December, because I know that was the first time that I posted a video because I wanted to get a head start on it, that it was going to be from the beginning of January through the end of December, I wanted to work off 52 pounds. So it was 175. Yeah, because it was 227. And then I wanted to get down to like 175. So I wanted to work off roughly 52 pounds. Instead, I gained about half of that. So actually more. I've gained more than that since last year. But since January, I've gained about half of what I wanted to get rid of. Yeah, about half of what I wanted to get rid of. So from January, I have gained 20-ish, 20 something. Give me a minute. I'm a little slow because I'm thinking about the time and how I'm already 5 minutes late to work. So I gotta nip it in the bud. So I will. I've gained over 30 pounds, over 20 pounds since January. Since last year, I've gained 43 pounds from my lowest weight back in like May of last year. So in a year, I've gained, a little over a year, I've gained about 43 pounds. And since January, I've gained roughly, I'm going to say, 25. That's easy math. So about 25 pounds, a little less than, because it was point something whenever I started. But yeah, so about 25 pounds since January. So, and this is literally little itty bitty bits of bad habits creeping back in, and neglect, not doing my disciplines, saying it's okay to go ahead and sleep in a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, ignoring alarms to not go work out. Yes, the dog attacks, and yes, the car accident and other things have contributed to all that. But for the most part, it's just been me and allowing myself to get back into those old bad habits. So I'm sure even if you were to look at a video of me from January, or even the first one that I posted back in late December, you'd see the difference like in my body and in my face. I've gained, I'm feeling it in my underwear's tight and some of my shirts that I'm not wearing now because they fit either at the beginning of the year or towards the end of last year, but they don't fit anymore because they're too tight. So that sucks. And then also some of the things that I've noticed that really blow, in my opinion, are that I am really stiff. I'm not as limber as I was, or energetic. I'm really lethargic. And just kind of just don't feel like doing much. And then, as you get older, you snap, crackle, pop when you get up off the couch or whatever. But the more that you work out and the more limber and the more you stretch and everything, the less it happens, for one. And also the less intense it is and the less hard it is for you to get out of your chair and everything. But in the last few months, since I've stopped working out consistently and since I've not been eating properly, I've been eating a lot of garbage in general. Making some good choices and kind of saying, well, at least I'm doing this. But see, when you do that, you're kind of giving yourself a little bit of an excuse for the bad choices that you've made. So I'm going to try not to do that. So I'm really going to work towards it. So anyway, again, yeah, so those feeling goals, I'm actually looking forward to beating those and getting my like limber and energetic self back. Those are the feelings that I'm looking for first in my new goals that I've set for myself. Because the neat thing about those January, December/January New Year's resolutions that you make, and kind of like throwing them away, like that's kind of happened to me. Like my mind's been on it all year long, but I've allowed myself to just kind of go further and further into the bad direction of bad habits and kind of letting go of those disciplines and everything, like I've stated several times already through this video. So so that's what happened. Again, been thinking about it, just have not been disciplining myself. And the irony too is that I remember one of the videos that I posted, one of the January ones, I think, maybe even like early February, is that I'm like, oh, cool, I've lost like X amount of weight in this 1 week and I feel great because, hey, I'm ahead of the game because I had a plan. And I think it was like at least 1 pound a week because it was 52 pounds that I wanted to lose over the entire year. So that would have been 52 weeks, a pound a week. I was like, I'm so far ahead. And then I'm just like, hey, I'm far ahead. I don't have to do much. So, that's how it happens. You kind of get not necessarily cocky about it, but you get a little lax because you're like, okay, I'm ahead. I got a little leeway. I'll be fine. Instead of being like, okay, I'm on track, but I can't give up. So that's one of the things that I wanted to, mention. I talked with one of my friends, or I texted her. We were texting back and forth, and she's on a journey herself, kind of weight loss / health journey herself, and taking kind of a different route, but also similar aspects of like eating healthier and exercising more and stuff like that. And so I was telling her about my plan. So I've got a plan. I decided not last night, but Saturday night when we were driving back from Kentucky to home, I decided that I was going to go ahead and set a goal for myself to work off, and I mean that in both physically and nutritionally, work off 30 pounds for the rest of the year. That's 10 pounds a month. So, and Saturday was the 2nd of October. So 10 pounds a month, that averages out to 2.5 pounds a week. And that is good because most of the material that I've read or watched or whatever, participated in, usually say that it's best to lose, at least if you're going to go for weight loss, it's good to work off 2 pounds every week, 1 pound for nutrition and eating and food and all that, and 1 pound for exercise. So I'm going just a little bit above that, which isn't a lot, but I'm not going to berate myself if I don't make 2.5, but I am going to really, really gung-ho it. Not too much. I don't want to and that was what I told her too. I'm going to try to ease myself back into the good habits, but as best as I can. So I said square one with her. I told my boyfriend it's probably not really square one, but like square three. I'm a little bit ahead on what I'm doing because I have a plan and all that. So the 2.5 pounds a week, again, the feeling goals that I'm looking for, being more energetic and being more limber and feeling just like I can do better. So that my sprained ankle, like I said, it's feeling a lot better. I'm able to stand on it without too much pain. I'm able to walk on it without too much pain. Sometimes there's no pain, sometimes there is. And then my opposite shin, which was again one of those that hit the dashboard whenever we were in that car accident, like that, I thought something was wrong with my knee that day, but it turns out that I've got some nerve problems right now because, in the words of my orthopedic doctor, he was so cool. He was like, okay, it's like, it's not going to sound very professional, but whenever you're in an accident like this and you hit that, you get a big hit like that to your shin, he goes, it pisses off your nerves. And, and they're like, so anyway, so the burning sensation that I had and the tightness and just like, it was horrible. Eventually they're going to go away on their own. But anyway, so that's a lot less. The swelling has gone down a lot. The bruises are almost gone. So anyway, point that I'm trying to make is that I can exercise now. I feel more comfortable exercising now that, my ankle is feeling better, right side, and then my left shin is feeling better, not as tight. I just have to be really careful because even when I get into bed, and my bed has like some memory foam, even when I get in the bed and it's nice and squishy on top, it still hurts when I put pressure on my shin, even though it's not a whole lot. And I even got down, for spirituality, I don't know how many of you believe whatever, but and I respect everybody's beliefs. So I got down on my knees and prayed last night, thanking God for a bunch of stuff, including, because when I got down, I was like, okay, first and foremost, God, and I was going to ask him for something, and I got down and my shin hurt. And I'm like, actually, no, first and foremost, I want to say thanks that I can even get down on my knees right now, because even though it hurts, it's possible, and it's not as bad as it was. So that was, something. So anyway, it still hurts, and it even felt like because the swelling is still there, it's even felt like it was raised up and I don't know. Anyway, it's weird. So new experiences for 2021. I feel like with the challenges that I've faced this year in 2021, I feel like my 2021 is a lot of people's 2020s, because in 2020, there were a lot of people that faced just a tremendous amount of challenges. For me, 2021 has been way more challenging than 2020 for various reasons. And they're kind of stuff that could happen whether or not there's a pandemic. Like I said, I got attacked by dogs when I was running. I got in a car accident. I've had just a lot of pressure with school. I even withdrew from one of my classes, which I'll talk about in a future video. And that was one of the things that was just like cramming stress down. I'll like I said, I'll talk about that later, but because I got to get going. But anyway, it's been a rough year, but the way I see it, I want to quote this right. So I'm going to go ahead and take you with me real quick. And there's a quote that I absolutely love, that I kind of live by a little bit. And there are so many other goals too that I want to talk about, but I'll save that for later. But one of the quotes that I love to live by is on my wall. I just have to find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So Charles Udall. In fact, I don't know if I can flip it or not. I doubt it. In life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. So that is the quote that I wanted to share with you. God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. And believe me, I've had my share of problems and challenges this year. So anyway, running way over, super late for work, probably gonna maybe get a talking to, depends on how she feels. And I gotta go. So thank you for checking back in with me. So much more that I wanted to talk about, but those were the main things. So if you can help cheer me on, that would be wonderful. Trying for 10 pounds, not even trying. Hey, my sister's up from her nap. Trying for 10 pounds a month for the rest of the year. And I know that we're getting ready to go into holiday season, but in theory, all year long is holiday season if you want it to be. Believe me, from a foodie, that's a thing. So, and then 2.5 pounds a week, and wanting to be more energetic and limber. Those are my goals, and I'm going to do the best I can. So anyway, more later. Thanks. Have a lovely day. Make good choices. Be your best self. Live your best life. And I'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.